Your Fitness Business Podcast Snapshot, personal training success, how to organically grow your PT program, and PT discount promotions, yes or no. All that and more coming up in today's episode. I want to give a big thank you for listening to the fitness industry's leading fitness business podcast for owners and managers. The Fitness Business Podcast strives to provide a weekly educational platform for our listeners. The variety of international guests are here to share their expert advice, knowledge, and tips with you, our FBP family. Good day, FBP listeners. It's your host, Dory Nugent. Now, did you get a chance to listen to last week's show featuring Crystal Reynolds from 43 Degrees North? If you didn't, it's not too late. Head to Spotify, iTunes, or to our website to download the episode. Crystal delivered unique and thrifty ideas to help your club celebrate your members and to recruit new members as well. Check it out. And now for what you've all been waiting for, episode 371 with industry expert Brandon Bennett. Brandon is the co-owner and VP of Fitness Operations at Physique Fitness. But before we get started, let's hear from our podcast partner, MyZone. MyZone has pioneered unique wearables with talking point technology that makes the difference. Reach more members of your community and keep them engaged for longer through motivation and gamification wherever they choose to work out. In the gym, at home, or outdoors, we're stronger together. Get in the zone at myzone.org. Fitness Business Podcast. Hey, guess what? Today's industry expert is Brandon Bennett. Brandon is the VP of Fitness Operations, and he is the co-owner of Physique Fitness in Oregon. Brandon, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, Dory, what's up? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm so excited you're our industry expert today.
Special. I get a sticker.
So you're going to talk about personal training. Your Physique Fitness does very well in their personal training department. So we invited you on to share all your knowledge and all your tips and secrets on how everybody out there listening can also to have a successful personal training business. So why don't we get started? Why don't you just tell our listeners a little bit about your club, your PT packages, and your price point, just so they can get a visual?
Yeah, so we have 4 locations in the, between the Kaiser and Albany, Salem area in Oregon. Our clubs range anywhere from about 26,000 square feet to 32,000 square feet. We run an HVLP 2.0 model, so anywhere from $10 a month to $40 a month type club. And as far as like our PT price points go, we offer 6 and 12-month plans, month-to-month plans, paid in full plans, and then our session rates are anywhere from $25 a session to $55 a session, depending on the package.
Okay, perfect. And how many years have you personally been with Physique Fitness? I mean, I know you're a co-owner, so I should probably say how many years have you been in business?
Yeah, so I have been in the industry itself for about 17 years. And then I've been with Physique going on 8 years.
Okay, and what made you decide to open up your own fitness studio?
I think it just came down to just that vision, right? I remember me and the founder, we went to middle school and high school together, and we've always kind of like talked about it. And so, I always tell people, we're fitness guys that run a fitness business as opposed to fitness or business people that run a fitness business, right? We actually started in the back of a car with resistance bands, helping people get out of bed and move. And so that's kind of like been the core of who we are. And that's why, I think personal training means so much to me personally, is because that's kind of where we came from.
All right. I like that you said you started out of a car. I'm glad you didn't say like some white van with like tinted windows or something.
Scary trailer.
All right. Well, our listeners, they love numbers. And I appreciate that when you kind of opened up, you talked a little bit about the size of your facility. But now I'd like to ask you, like, what percentage of your members do personal training? And do you see that growing in 2021?
Yeah, we are actually surpassing all of last year's numbers, and we're actually surpassing some of 2019's numbers as well, depending on the club. But yeah, I'd say about 3 to 5% of our members do personal training, and then 10 to 18% do team training with our trainers.
Okay. And why do you think that your numbers are surpassing even? I understand last year it was a tough year for everybody, but you're saying that your numbers are even surpassing 2019 numbers. Why is that? Has your staff grown? Have you changed your marketing strategy?
Yeah, I think it's a couple things. One, I think more people are just serious about changing their health right now. I think the quality of members that we get to meet and talk about training with is just higher, because I think people realize how important health is now. Yeah, and then we have a pretty unique way of how we onboard our personal trainers and how they go about that sales process. And I think that's really helped a lot. We've really made some changes this last year as well, and I think that's done well for us, because we don't see as much people coming in as like we did in 2019, but the quality of people that we see coming in and that are doing training is definitely higher.
I know a lot of clubs have kind of looked at, hey, maybe right now is not the time to grow membership numbers, but to get members to spend more money while they're in our club. So it sounds like that you guys are right on track with that. Brandon, you mentioned that your PT is really growing for 2021. I would love for you to tell us a little bit about, how are you organically growing your PT numbers? Is it through just like your trainers recruiting while they're on the floor? What's the secret?
Yeah, I think we got a couple things going for us. So for one, like a lot of our trainers teach our team training classes, right? Which is great, because the clients that they're currently training one-on-one, they'll get them to upgrade to our upper tier membership to do team training, right? And then when they're doing team training, these members that are already taking team training that aren't working with a trainer see that there's other clients in there that are working with a trainer, and it makes them interested. Plus, like as a team trainer, I'm going to be asking everybody that's not working with me, hey, I would love to meet with you one-on-one just to kind of go over your goals and see what you're accomplishing and if you're heading in the right direction. And it kind of gives them that way of, being able to just create some more prospects so that they can, see people. And people already kind of know how they act in class and how they motivate. And I think they're really inspiring. And so it's really easy to set those appointments up to meet with those individuals.
Yeah, I think, and I'd love to hear your opinion on this, that I think it's so important to teach your trainers how to sell, how to be on the floor and how to sell themselves and sell their personality. Because I think also, I'd love to hear your opinion, it's important to have different personalities because your members have different personalities. Do you guys work on that?
Yeah, I think, what's cool about us is I always tell people, every one of our trainers could train any one of my family members, right? But it depends on which family member, because we have trainers that have different personalities, right? We got the introverts, the extroverts, the ones that are really loud, the ones that are more quiet. And so I think like that also goes a long way. But I think what's also important, and we teach this in our sales training too, is like mirror that person, right? You want to be sure you kind of get a sense for who they are when you're meeting with them, so that you're not either overwhelming them or underwhelming them either. We want to provide like less anxiety to people too when they meet with us, right? Because I think like that's kind of what people think trainers are, is just these crazy yell at you type trainers. And obviously that's not the case.
No. And you know what, though? It's funny, though, because it's right. Everybody loves different personalities. I love the trainer that's kind of loud and is getting everybody fired up. And like, I like that. But, listen, I've talked to a lot of people. They're like, no way, that is not for me. I just kind of want somebody that greets me. We get it done. We get to the point and I'm back out of there. They're like, I don't want all the high-fiving and woohooing. So yeah. It's important, I think, to have variety on your staff. It really 100%. Is. Okay, so let's talk promotions. I always hear some people are like, yay,
promotions. Some people are like, nay to promotions. What do you guys do? Are you promotion people or not?
Yeah, we're definitely not promotion people. That is something that we don't do a whole lot of, if any.
Okay. Have you ever done any promotion that you're like, oh my gosh, we've had some success that maybe you just do like once a year? Or again, are you pretty much like, no, not at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone's toyed around with it a little bit, right? If you've been in the fitness industry, I think you've tried a couple of things out. I think like some of the feedback has been a lot of clients maybe look forward to those specials and they don't want to continue if they can't get that same special. And so for us, it's like, well, we don't want to, devalue our personal training. And so we want to be sure that, if we are doing something, it could be, hey, if you buy once a week training, we'll get you a $10 membership for a year, right? Or you do twice a week training, you can get our middle tier membership for a year. So we've done things like that, and it's gone decently well. But overall, we don't do a ton of like buy this today or buy this certain day, just because we needed to do it.
Good. I think that's good. Yes. Now, how about challenges? Do you ever do a personal training challenge or a competition amongst trainers?
We do a lot of different challenges. Obviously, we use MyZone. And so we'll sometimes throw that in the mix. One of our favorite ones is a zombie challenge. We'll have the trainers go against the members, and the members will have about 5 or 6 days to collect their MEPs. And then we release the trainers to try to catch them. That's always been a real fun one. And we sometimes will push like the in-body testing with that and, offer like I said, a free consultation so that we can kind of help jumpstart you in that right direction.
What do you do each year to strategically grow the PT in your club? Because you said earlier, hey, we are growing. We are even beating numbers from 2019. And I kind of asked this earlier, like, is it your marketing plan? Do you have somebody that really focuses on your marketing? Do you target the alumni? I'd love for you to share with our audience on your success with that.
Yeah, great. And honestly, this is probably something I'm probably the most passionate about in my job. But I got a couple of things for you. One thing I want to talk about though is staffing, right? I think if you can organically grow your team off the bench, I think it can go a long way. 60% of our trainers have actually come from our welcome desk. And so if you can hire individuals with like that potential to move into a trainer role, it'll help you in like a number of ways, right? And I actually have like 6 ways specifically that we do that, right? So one is internal mentorships, right? So a lot of these employees that work at the welcome desk, if we know they have a drive to become a personal trainer, or they're interested, or maybe they're currently studying to be a personal trainer, right? We get a lot of those, is we'll invite them to do an internship with either myself or some of our fitness managers or our more veteran trainers, and they will shadow, they will role play a little bit, and they're able to kind of just see what that looks like. So you're kind of like organically growing them already to see if they're going to be a great fit, right? And then number 2 is members, right? I think members love their favorite welcome desk person, right? And they like to hear the story too of like, what are they doing, right? And so a lot of times these welcome desk employees will be like, yeah, I'm working on being a trainer. This is what I'm doing. And a lot of times we'll hear from members, oh, I can't wait till you're a trainer. And I want to train with you when you become a trainer because I just love your personality, right? So that's that. Number 3 is like potential growth. I think when our welcome desk employees see that other trainers have grown into that position from where they were, I think it's really motivating. And I think it gives them kind of like a sense of just belonging to where, the company that they work for, and that they can move up and they can grow into that role, because our trainers, like for them, it's a career. It's not a job. They thoroughly enjoy, what they're doing. And I feel like we compensate well in that area as well. Right. Number 5 would become role-playing masters, right? So one thing that we've had huge success with this year is we run a weekly sales training for all new staff as they onboard, and any other employees that want to come and kind of refresh on some of those things. And it's been really awesome because we already have an onboarding process for our trainers. But after that process, we still continue this like once a week sales training where we go over overcoming objections over and over and over again, or like, how do you mirror someone, or, hey, take me through the assessment workout, and what does your cueing sound like? And, what questions do you have? Just so that it's not like a sport, right? You practice all week long for that event, right? And so we want to be sure they're always on their toes. So we're constantly doing that. And our ROI on that this year has been huge. In fact, I say that's our number one reason why we've seen our PT grow, specifically in the last like 60 to 90 days really well has been with that, right? And then number 6 is trainer teach, right? So that might not mean anything to most people, but we actually hold a training 1 to 2 times a month with all of our trainers together in the same building, if you will. And we go over something educational. It could be a trainer that just got a new certification that they want to share what they've learned. It could be we have a presenter. It could be just like an educational video that we may have purchased, or maybe it was one of the conferences that we went to and we got some materials from it. And then every, couple times a year, we do team activities, right? I feel like it's super important to still keep things fresh and fun. We've done minute to win it games, which as trainers, we all know we're super competitive and we want to win the Oreo on the face as it slides down into the mouth, or, pick up the Skittles with the straw and race back to the other side of the turf, right? It gets pretty intense, a couple scrapes and bruises along the way, but it's super fun. And I feel like that's how you maintain a fun environment as well, right? But I would say that's probably our, top things that we're doing right now to kind of organically grow that PT in our club.
I think it's important. I love the fact that you brought up the camaraderie amongst your team, because one thing I can say is I love when you go to a conference or a training and you come back and you have that new high. And as the attendee, I want to share it with everybody, so I think it's great that you get everybody together and then you have that time where you share what the person has learned, because I think their excitement kind of spills off onto everybody else, which is fun.
Yeah. And I think like early in the industry, before I even worked for Physique, I felt like, it's hard to find a place where you belong, sometimes as a trainer. I think sometimes you come in and you do your thing and then you leave and there's not really a sense of team. And I think it kind of demotivates you a little bit and it's not as fun because, it could be that you're lonely or that you're not feeling, love from the people around you. And so I feel like that's super important.
Get your pen ready now for Keep Me's Fit Bizpiration.
What are your 3 best tips for personal training departments to increase their numbers?
Yeah, I would say start selling PT at the point of sale. Number 2, setting healthier user consults consistently upon member sign up. And then number 3 would be role playing, right? And that goes back to 1 and 2 is if you're role playing with your team on how to do those 2 things over and over and over again, it's going to be super successful.
Keep Me. Smarter member retention. KeepMe.ai.
Now let's get back to our show, shall we?
Brandon, you made an excellent expert today. Thank you so much for coming on to the podcast.
Awesome. Hey, I truly appreciate it. I feel really lucky to be able to get on this with you. I was listening to the Fitness Business Podcast actually this morning, and I was like, man, this is so cool that I get to talk to Dory here in the next couple hours. So thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
You're so welcome. And listen, we're just equally as grateful to all of our industry experts, because without you, we wouldn't have a podcast. So we're so grateful that you guys come on here each and every week and you share your, expert knowledge, advice, your tips, just to help everybody in the industry become better and stronger. So thank you. And you know what? Welcome to the Fitness Business Podcast family.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Brandon, thanks so much for sharing your industry success secrets with all of our FBP family. And just to let you know, today I am sending out a virtual hug to everyone listening. Thank you for your continued support as we remain the top industry podcast for fitness education. Now let's pause just for a brief minute to hear from our podcast sponsor, MX Metrics.
Member experience is more than just NPS. With MXM's Member Experience Toolkit, you build a unified view of the member experience, from purchase to onboarding to everyday usage and cancellation. Wire your entire organization with actionable feedback using MXN's Member Experience Toolkit. To find out more, go to mxmetrics.com.
Quickfire 5.
Up next, health and fitness coach Amy Nicotera takes on our new Quickfire 5 questions.
Hey, Fitness Business Podcast family. It is time for our Quickfire 5 questions. This week's guest is Amy Nicotera. She's a health and fitness coach, and she's coming to us from Massachusetts. Amy, welcome.
Thank you. Happy to be here. I'm ready.
Okay, well, listen, we have changed the Quickfire 5 questions, and you are the first one. You're the very first one for the new questions.
I don't know if I should be happy or nervous or what.
No, be excited. It's always fun. So let's get started. Number 1, what is a life lesson from the pandemic?
Good one. I'd say somewhat cliche, but within difficulty lies opportunity. And even if you had to look for it a little bit, I think most of us found some. So,
okay. Number 2, here we go. If you could play a character in a movie, what character would it be?
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, first of all, you have to know that I like only light, funny, like stupid, funny movies. That's my vibe. So I'm going to go with the character Fat Amy from the Pitch Perfect series, because she was funny and she's like just herself. She got stuff done and she didn't care what anybody else thought about anything. And her character was just great. And if I didn't get to be her, maybe we could just hang out.
All right. That's a good pick. All right. Here we go on to the next one. Complete this sentence. Sunday morning, you can find me
at the track nearby with my dogs and my little 5-year-old. And if we're not there, some Sundays, I'll admit, we get up really early and we hit Trader Joe's right when they open at 8 a.m. and get her done.
All right. Awesome. You're a little bit like Fat Amy. See, you get it done. Yeah, now I get it. All right, here we go on to number 4. This is a classic question for us here at the podcast. What is a book that we all should read?
Okay, well, I just finished a great book, Breath by James Nestor. And I would say most of us should start shutting our mouths and breathing more through our nose.
Okay, perfect. Good advice. And finally, you're our fitness expert next week. It's time for you to give us your best pitch on why our listeners should come back next week.
All right. Well, I'm going to share with you something completely new. It's innovative, it's different, and you're not going to want to miss out because it's going to be the best buzz around town. I'm going to talk all about how to build an online course, and I'm going to tell you about the one that I've created.
Perfect. Well, I'm looking forward to it. So, Amy, I will see you next week as our industry expert.
Looking forward to it.
Looking to connect with today's industry expert, Brandon Bennett? Well, look no further. Head on over to our show notes at fitnessbusinesspodcast.com. Next up, a message from our founding partner, Active Management.
Hi FBP family, it's JT from Active Management, the founding partner of the Fitness Business Podcast. Thanks to the amazing technology at our fingertips, we can now work with clients all over the world. But right now, you can join the free online Active Management Facebook community. It's an amazing group of people just like you. Sure, I share weekly resources, but it's the power of the community that you will experience that will make this your go-to Facebook group. Remember, it's free, fun, and inspirational. Go to facebook.com/groups/Active Management Community.
What you leave behind is not what's engraved in stone monuments, but what is woven into the lives of others.